lost the spell.
How do you do?
Greetings.
Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure.
There we go. Let's see what we got here.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of two known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called Deep Roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endrin of House Aiducan, the 9th Aiducan ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue, and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast? Of course, if every other noble has a shield and 3 swords, you'll feel awfully underdressed. One can't take all this marching about and speech-making too seriously. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances. The usual. This lord had my cousin killed, this lord seduced my wife, this lord did the exact thing I'd planned to do to him, but he did it first. They pose and bluster, and each pretends he is the honorable man in a den of thieves and assassins. Bah. The rest is worth seeing, though. As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering. Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast.
Of course. All right.
Been a while since I played.
I am at your service.
Balin? Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
It seems she's one of your brother Balin's newest, companions. Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lord Iduken's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord. Thank you. I will go now.
All right.
Ancestors watch over you, my lord. No sign of trouble. Good day, Lord Iduken. I am at your service.
Good day, Lord Iduken.
I went to watch the provings. Most exciting.
You sure you want to go to the feast now? I doubt we can escape to see the provings once we're inside. I can't wait to see who's fighting today. Your father has allowed the merchants to show their wares in the Diamond Quarter during these celebrations.
sure we can work this out reasonably. It's in the records. There's nothing... Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lord Iduken, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Iduken, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house. He deserves to die for what he has written of Paragon Volney. He says that Volney, the Paragon who founded my house, known throughout the world as the greatest of men, was a fraud.
Not precisely. When the Assembly names a Paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But Paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Iduken was much loved, but he was still a man. He was plagued by melancholy, and his fervor regarding Orzammar's safety bordered on obsession. When Iduken was proposed as a Paragon, only one lord in the Assembly objected. The others savagely hacked him to death. Iduken's motion passed without a single dissenting vote.
Unlike Volney, is that what you mean, old man?
Volney became a Paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your Paragon Iduken? You would not say so if it was your house, but I shall respect your wishes. For now, excuse me, Your Highness.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lord?
Well, historically, it has been prudent to eliminate a small threat before it becomes larger.
How do you want it done? Understood.
You've shown yourself more daring and aggressive today than most believed of you. Someday I hope to write of the great exploits you are sure to perform.
Word has been sent. He won't live past the hour.
You've shown House Iduken a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people. Of course, I have much to document and organize. Good day, Your Highness, and thank you.
Small rolls of cloth? That's outrageous. You certainly have some gall, merchant.
But my lord, these are surface silks, dyed with the finest saffron and indigo.
There will be blood today. I can...
My lord Iduken, you honor me by visiting my humble booth. May I show you my wares? Please, look as you will.
Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery. Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery.
Our trust follow, big brother. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my sibling's second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
I speak to lower houses and castes as they should be spoken to. Now do as I say.
What's up? Oh, you picked up some cookies.
Your lack of a sense of duty to your house is obvious. I can't imagine why you are receiving a commission. I expect after tomorrow I'll spend much time apologizing to the heads of the noble houses for the deaths of their children under your incompetent command.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Trian?
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast. I'd advise you to watch that tongue, dear sibling. Father will not live forever. Come, Balin.
That was fun. Nothing like being talked down to by the next king. Perhaps this isn't the best place for that sort of talk, shall we?
Just saying.
Look at this piece, darling.
My lord Idukan, nothing here rivals your amazing Idukan armor. If you wish something made...
You know very well House Idukan has its own royal armorers.
Of course. Forgive me. You honor me, your highness.
Nonsense, woman. Your words bring shame upon our house. See how the edges
What about that one?
I don't.
What have we here? Two handsome, strapping, noble lords. You both look so grand.
And isn't this the man of the hour, the king's son?
Who's your friend, my lord? Another noble from the honored House Idukan?
But not from a noble house, girls. Sargorum, warrior caste.
Oh, that's too bad. Quite handsome.
They're noble hunters, my lord. A man takes his caste from his father, and these women hope to bear a noble lord's son. If one is successful, she's raised up to concubine in the noble house to care for her child. It provides new sword arms for the house, and many nobles look favorably on such women. Shall I run them off? You heard the Lord. Let's go. Well, that's a bit of class back in the area. Shall we carry on?
Be quiet now and pray the ancestors deliver Roger back to you.
Only the freshest food for your noble table.
My lord, are you heading to the proving arena? We have been charged with the task of escorting you to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded.
Will we be leaving then? We are at your command.
Your Highness, it is an honor to have you here. Have you come to watch these brave warriors do battle in your honor? Your presence encourages the fighters to greater feats. Your Highness, this proving is in your honor.
Then honor him by doing as he says. My Lord Iduken will fight in this proving.
Of course, it is well within your rights. Men and women of Orzammar, we have a late entry to these provings, held on the eve of battle for the honor of House Iduken. I give you the Lord Iduken himself! Are you ready for your first match? Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken. Lord Iduken will fight Aler Bimo, youngest son of Lord Bimo.
You honor me with this match.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! That was quite a fight. Aler Bimo is no slouch with that hammer. Are you ready for your next opponent? Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken. Lord Iduken will fight Adol Helmi, eldest daughter of Lady Helmi.
Honor and glory to your house, your highness.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Couldn't we all just get along? No? I should let you through.
That was exciting. I had the whole left half of the arena cheering for you. Popular.
That was a crowd pleaser. Many were waiting to see that woman put in her place. Sir Blackstone is your next opponent. Are you ready to face him? Then let us begin. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken.
House Iduken.
Lord Iduken will fight Sir Blackstone, Deep Road squad leader of the warrior caste.
This is your education, child. Try to learn as you bleed.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! Lord Iduken. Well done. You have proven that even the best of the warrior caste cannot match a noble Iduken. Franklin Ivo is your final opponent. He too has had many victories today. Are you ready to face him, or will you rest first? Of course. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken. It is down to just 2 warriors, with backbones of stone and wills of iron. They have defeated all others this day. Lord Iduken will fight Franklin Ivo, second son of Lord Ivo.
You fight well. I wish you glory today and glory tomorrow.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. The victor is champion. Fight!
Glory will be mine! You asked for it! Drive them back! We're coming for you! I need some help!
The winner is Lord Iduken.
Nice.
Congratulations. Franklin Ivo is as fierce a competitor as I've ever seen. You vanquished every warrior of note in today's proving. The ceremonial helm, commissioned by your father for today's winner, is yours. Your glory honors every warrior here.
Oh, can't wear it yet.
Much glory was brought
Good
to your
showing
house
there, my
today.
lord. Your opponents will be licking their wounds all eve.
My lord? Your wish is our command.
Look, the Grey
My lord,
Wardens are here.
Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lord. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week, and a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause. The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste. Lost to the stone, air-touched, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste, and his house if noble. That he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf. I seek only to remedy an injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak for this noble cause. When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
You're a fool.
Greetings, my lord Idukan. It is an honor to meet you at last. I have had the opportunity to recently meet with your father. He speaks highly of you. He says you may be the most skilled warrior in all of House Idukan. I have no doubt it is deserved. We need more Grey Wardens like you, and quickly. Even as the Darkspawn weaken here in Ozz, they are stirring on the surface. A blight has begun. Soon the fight must go beyond the deep roads, lest the Darkspawn threaten all the world. Alas, I do not think he would take kindly to that suggestion. As the child of the king and heir after Lord Trion, your place is here. Truly. Then I will speak to your father after tomorrow's battle. I have my doubts he will relent, but there is always hope. Until then, good luck to you. Show the Darkspawn what your people are made of.
Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you. Last spring, a guild from the merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the merchant guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Idukan. You begin to see the whole picture. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacer's kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace. If you call his bluff, then you lose your chance to turn the tables. Let him think he has you. Smile and nod, and when he asks his question, tell him that the so-called surface caste are right where they belong. That should take Lord Dace down a peg or two.
Can't remember if I should support them or not. Looking it up real quick.
You're welcome. Remember this when my house needs your assistance.
Your father is very proud. My king, please reconsider. Trade contracts alone could bring great prosperity to our houses.
Will we really turn our back on our brothers and a potential fortune in cheap labor because of a political technicality?
Denial of the traditions of our people does not qualify as a political technicality. There is more to life than monetary gains, my lords Bimo and Mino. The Assembly of Kal Sharok will respect the rule of Orzammar, or they will rot and die alone, surrounded by enemies.
Yes, my king.
But look, we have company to spare us further wrangling. Atrast Vala, my son. How fine you look in your great-grandfather's armor. I hear you were declared champion of the Provings. I suppose you were never one to sit by when something exciting was going on. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses? So dutiful. Very well, let us begin. Lords, ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the Paragon Idukan. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better?
I have a question. I seek to know the prospect better.
Lord Dace, head of House Dace, speak.
Lords, ladies, my question concerns the plight of our wayward kin, the so-called service caste. What does the Commander Prospect think is the proper place for these lost souls?
Are you satisfied, Lord Dace? Do you feel you have learned something about the prospect?
Yes, my king.
Then if there are no other challenges, I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head of Ferelden's Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads. Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to withdraw, it is only because they are massing on the surface. This could mean a blight, and my men and I will discover the truth. We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, feast, drink, and celebrate, for the morning brings battle! As for you, my new commander, find your brother Trian and send him to me. He may be watching the Provings, or getting some rest in his rooms. Walk well, Commander.
I suppose you're proud of yourself. Do you have even the slightest idea who you're talking to? Why, you... I will remember this insult. Good day.
I am proud to serve the Idukans.
So you're a commander now, in name at least. Shouldn't you be attending our King Father? Of course he does. We must discuss strategy before tomorrow's battle. Balin, stay here and stroke the new commander's conceit if you like. But then get to bed.
All day I've put up with that. He can really grate on the nerves. And what I'm going to tell you next won't make you any more fond of him. Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much-proclaimed honor would allow him to actually act on his jealousy. Big brother, Trian is going to try to kill you. I overheard him giving orders to some of his men, and I was shocked. Then it began to make sense. Trian's decided you're a threat to his taking the throne. Maybe he's right. Trian's the named prince, but only the Assembly can proclaim a king. It would be unusual for the Assembly to ignore the king's choice, but it does happen.
The founder of House Bimo became a paragon and king in one move from the Assembly, and he was a commoner.
That was an extraordinary case, but at least a half-dozen times the Assembly named a lesser family member, or even someone from another house, as king. Usually, it's the popular younger brother of an undesirable prince. Look at it from his perspective. You're more personable than he's ever been. You entered the provings held in your own honor just for glory and to please the crowds. If you win glory against the Darkspawn tomorrow, it will only strengthen the case for you as the next heir. Trian Veer's father will replace him on the spot. If not, the Assembly will surely turn against him when father dies. You know his pride will never allow him to step aside. It seems Trian has shown that brothers can't always be trusted. I am next in line. If Trian succeeds in his plot against you, how long do you think I'll live?
Permission to speak freely? Trian would make a terrible king, but no one wants to say it. He has just enough backing in the Assembly to make it ugly when your father dies, but not enough to become king. Killing him now makes your house stronger and saves a great deal of bloodshed later.
Very well. I'll keep my eyes open. I don't want to lose the brother I actually like. One of us has to. I'm taking your place as father's second, so I'll be at hand tomorrow. For now, try to get some sleep.
May the Paragon smile down on you.
Interesting.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Haramond. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open.
May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall.
Come then! Glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin. Take your men and make ready. Paramount and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a tide, abandoned long ago by your ancestors.
Tide.
The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Idukan remains in that time, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours. My father's writings speak only of the shield. There may be countless other treasures, but only the shield matters.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions? Very good. The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Idukan.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
Greetings, Commander. Lord Minos
I am
never
at your
taken this
service.
tunnel. The one assigned to your lord.
Wrong way, I guess.
We should keep moving.
You made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any darkspawn? We didn't expect any activity in these tunnels at all. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I hid here to avoid the darkspawn. Most tunnels are dead ends. The one we want is swarming with those fiends. It's going to be a fight. I was, indeed. Would that I had been good enough to beat you. May today's battles bring us even more glory. I'll take rear guard. Shall we move?
Backtrack a little bit here and see if there's anything else. There we go, got rid of that. dead end.
You're here. I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure. Apologies, Commander. There's not a ton of formality down here in the deep roads. We want the tunnel ahead, but there are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful. I haven't ventured more than 100 yards ahead for fear of alerting other Darkspawn. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
This Darkspawn body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there.
Yes, my lord.
Delighted.
So glad you could finally join us. We feared you'd gotten eaten by darkspawn. Turns out the shield isn't quite as easy to retrieve as I was led to believe. I wager you know where it is, though. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I won't mutilate your body so bad your father doesn't recognize you. A funny nobleman, just what the world needs. Now kill these idiots.
Of course. Delighted. Oh, now this...
Is that an Idukan signet ring? I guess that's how they got in here. The ring is Trian's. That means he... It would have been a major victory to get the shield first, but he showed his hand and failed. The first way we can hurt him is to find that shield ourselves. You have your orders, boys.
Fight the blood. Fight the blood.
How do we get the shield? You two, see if you can spot anything. That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much.
The skill of our crafters has come far since then. But still, a shield of Idukan.
I can feel it. It's inspirational.
You say so. It's just a shield. Back in the direction we came from, at the crossroads.
To the crossroads.
Could be more of those mercenaries. Or does.
And so I shall.
Really scheming against us, this would be the perfect place for an ambush. We've got the shield, and we're all alone out here.
What's that you're muttering about? Uh-huh. All right, then.
By the stone, it's Trian.
It must have been a darkspawn attack.
This doesn't look like darkspawn. No bites, no scratches, no mutilation.
Someone's coming.
Hurry, Father, before it's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here? It seems we weren't fast enough. Bayland was right. My son, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
Just long enough to slay Trian.
My lord is innocent.
Sir Gorham, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lord Iduken came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, he ordered us to attack.
Stop him! Take his weapons! I think we've seen enough.
No. If the scout were lying, I might have done much the same. I will not drag my son back to Orzammar in chains without hearing from Franklin Ivo.
Franklin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance. Afterward, my lord stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard! Silence, Gorham! Do you have anything else to say, my son? I want to believe that. I really do.
Bind him. He will be judged before the Assembly. To Orzammar.
Damn. That's hardcore.
You've got 10 minutes, sir. Orders and all. You understand?
Of course. Leave us alone, will you please?
Yes, sir.
I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you? I could be better. I have bad news, though. The Assembly isn't going to call for you. Balin has taken Trian's place in the Assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the Assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years. He's more clever than either of us ever thought. Some of the lords, especially Harrowmont, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The Assembly has already sentenced both of us. I am to be exiled to the surface, but you are to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you are overwhelmed and killed. It doesn't have to be. Lord Harrowmont gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the deep roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan. Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up. I will always be your man, my Lord Iduken.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harrowmont.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person. nor a memory. You are to be cast into the deep roads with only sword and shield. Dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out? I understand your anger. You should have been allowed to defend yourself. Had I the power to stop this, I would have. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this for your father's sake. I believe you. That means Balin planned this from the start. Believe me, I will spend the rest of my days making sure Balin does not profit by his deeds. Your father asked me to give these to you. This sword and shield are of fine dwarven make. Strike a blow at our enemies. He is old and this tragedy has hit him hard. He will rest better now, though, knowing the truth. I will. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.
Damn, it's hardcore. Took everything. I got nothing. That's awesome. Studded leather. We'll just see how this goes. Should have stayed with the sword and shield. There we go. these guys this time. Hey, you. Well, when did you want to head out? Okay.
I cannot.
Well, I'm gonna stop it here because it's getting to be a pain, and I will come back at it later. Thanks for watching. This is Ozz, signing off.